Hey there, my name is Thomas Brush. I'm the creator of a game called Pinstripe. I'm also working on a game called Once Upon a Coma. I am wearing a tank top, not because I am kind of hot. I'm working in my garage, but because I just got back from the gym. I want to tell you about a little story about my anxiety. I had really bad anxiety for 5 years, and I kicked it in the booty. I got rid of it completely. I'm dead serious. It's gone. It's almost bad how much it's gone. It's like gotten to the point almost to apathy, or overconfidence. I don't have trouble sleeping anymore. I don't have panic attacks anymore. I'm completely rid of all that. And if any of you are aware, being an indie game developer can result in pretty bad anxiety, mainly because you're like sedentary. Even more so, I think that's the word. Even more so than like some desk job, because you work a lot of hours. Especially like leading up to a launch of a game. So you're constantly in this little cube, right? You're working inside of this computer. It's almost like you're Neo in the Matrix, but like the world sucks. It's not like the ignorance is bliss kind of thing where, the scene where the guy is eating the steak.
I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
No, it's like a 2D, especially if you're using Windows and not Mac. It's disgusting, it's ugly, you're stuck in this computer screen for 10 hours a day, right? So you're working a sedentary job, that's depressing and anxiety provoking. But also, you'll work, maybe 2 years, and for me it was 5 years. Imagine working, full-time on a game for a really long period of time and hoping to God, praying to the heavens that the game does well. Okay, that can lead to serious anxiety. Now, I never went to the doctor and got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, but my wife is in the medical profession, so she has a little bit of knowledge about that stuff, and we talked, and to be honest, we fought a lot because I think she knew that I had a problem. I was weak, I was mentally unstable in a lot of ways. I was constantly complaining about things and scared. I was always scared of the future, scared of everything. Social situations, career stuff, who I was, scared of everything. And I had a pretty bad panic attack one night, and I knew that I couldn't do it anymore. But I kicked it in the butt, and the way that I kicked it in the butt, and I'm dead serious, it's gone. It's been gone for, I think, almost 2 years. Weightlifting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Now hear me out, hold on. I'm not a gym rat, I'm not a bro, I'm not a meathead. I'm a nerdy game developer. But working out has changed my life, and I want to encourage you to consider it. I was on medication for my anxiety, and I'd turn on Netflix, take a pill, sit back, feel really relaxed, but really I'm not feeling anything when I take those pills. It's just a dull, boring, it's almost like I had too much to drink, but like the kind like certain alcohols will make me really dull and boring, and that's how it felt. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted. That wasn't a solution. So I'm a religious guy, but people would say, pray about your anxiety, pray about it, it'll fix it.
My thoughts and prayers.
And prayer is a great thing, meditation, whatever you're into, that's good. But that honestly, wasn't working. Some people would say, talk to people, talk it out, talk out your feelings. But let me tell you, my wife will tell you, we talked plenty about my fears and anxieties. And we knew very well that my anxiety was ill-founded. I wasn't even worried about stuff. I was just anxious for no damn reason. I felt like a squirrel. Like they're just like, everything is a problem. Everything is a big deal. That's how I felt. So we knew it was a problem, so I didn't really need to talk about it anymore. Like, it's kind of like that feeling when you gossip. It's like, ooh, that felt really good in that moment, but afterwards you feel like shit. That's what it felt like to talk it through. So all these different solutions were being presented to me. And you might look at me and say, Thomas, you're not an expert, you're not a doctor. And I'll say, my argument to that is, I have seen firsthand the solution to anxiety for me, and I want to share it with you. And the truth is that anxiety is like this epidemic now. Like anxiety and depression, the suicide rate is insane. Something's not right. So I just wonder if the medical industry is not helping us like they should. So my solution has been working out. And the reason why working out wiped out my anxiety was 3 reasons. First, endorphins. I'm hyped up on endorphins right now. I just had a great workout. I go on my lunch break to the gym and I feel amazing. It's like I shot up endorphins. That's how it feels. It's not like taking what do they call it? Lorazepam, I think is the anxiety medication I was on. It's not like taking that. That's not how it feels. It's not like this peace. It's more of a feeling of power. And which is a great way to combat and war with anxiety, is to feel power. So you're getting, it's not some abstract emotional thing. It's purely chemical. You finish working out, you feel good. Some people have it more than others, but in general, it's kind of a rule of thumb. If you go to work out, you're gonna feel great at the end. Your muscles are gonna feel good, your body's gonna feel good, but your brain is gonna feel good. What you have to remember is that your body and even your brain is not you. It's a vehicle. Now, wherever you are on the spiritual spectrum, I think we can all agree something is going on with consciousness. Something is there that isn't my fingers or my flesh or my brain or my eyes. They play into all of how you perceive the world and how you interact with the world, but it's not who you are. For example, if I plucked your eye out, sorry, that's really violent. If I cut your hand off, no, that's violent. Whatever, if somebody gets something amputated, they're not less of a person. So that means that your body is not you. My point is that your body is a vehicle. So you should treat your body in such a way that almost as if it was a machine, okay? And there are certain rules that you can follow with your body to ensure that you're not an anxious software engineer or cubicle worker or whatever, especially people with desk jobs. Your body craves to be in a stress, not stressed like emotionally, but to be put under pressure. Whether it's evolution or our instincts or whether you believe in God and God made you that way, everyone can probably agree that your body appreciates when you get put under pressure and stress. That's why when you lift weights or go for a run, your body responds in a positive way, typically. Depends on your age. But your body will grow muscle and you'll become a stronger person, and you'll also get a rush of endorphins. The second reason why it got rid of my anxiety is I think a little bit of vanity, just a little bit of vanity, is a good thing. Now, I feel kind of like a normal guy. I'm a normal looking dude, but I feel really, really good when I got a little muscle on. When I get up in the morning, all of the things in the world can be fragile. Like my relationships with my friends or my family may be broken. My marriage might be tough. I might have a tough week with marriage and I'm not doing a good job as a husband. I might feel insecure about who I am as a person emotionally. Maybe if you're a religious person or you have a faith of some kind, maybe your faith is shaken. Even though the source of your faith may not be shaken, you and your faith and what's going on in your brain is shaken. All things in the world can be broken and fragile, but it's such a good feeling and it reduces anxiety to know that at least I'm gonna go to the gym today and do that right. At least I'm looking like I'm gaining muscle and I'm looking healthier and I'm Maybe you feel like you're getting more attractive as a person. These are things that really help with anxiety. They really, really do, because you can at least feel good about who you are. What I mean is, let's use our logic that we had before. It's not you. At least feel good about the vehicle you're riding in. And not only feel good about it, why don't you soup it up? You've got this vehicle, okay? There's no reason why you need to be driving in a 2001, let's change that, 1998 Nissan Altima, which was my first car. There's no reason why you need to be driving in that. Drive in a really nice car. You have control over your body. Believe it or not, whether you're a hard gainer or you struggle with weight, you don't have to gain weight and be physically unfit as you work your desk job. You have the opportunity after work or before work or during your lunch break. And I didn't tell myself that until I realized that anxiety was killing who I was as a person. It was hurting my business, and it was also hurting my marriage. So that's the second reason, which is just looking in the mirror and feeling good about yourself. It really changes a lot. Now, the third reason why anxiety was destroyed was because through the mental strain and the discipline, and this just comes down to discipline. When you grow as a disciplined person, and when you fight every day, you go, I don't want to go to the gym today. I don't want to push that bar up. I don't want to do another rep. I don't want to do sit-ups, blah, blah, blah. When you grow in discipline, it's a chemical thing going on in your brain. This is not some abstract emotional like mumbo jumbo. This is stuff chemically going on in your brain. When you form those mental pathways to pursue the hard path as opposed to the easy path, you emotionally become stronger. And that's what I'm really into right now, is the whole concept of, especially as a man, I think that, I'm totally for female empowerment and women being strong. But as a man, I can certainly identify with the feeling, and I'll throw a picture up. I can certainly identify the feeling of being a weak man and wishing that you were not. And so if you're a dude, or I guess if you're a woman too, become stronger emotionally. When you become stronger physically, you can handle emotional struggle, such as anxiety. Let's say, especially if you're an entrepreneur like me, or you're running a game studio, or a graphic designer, or you're working a desk job. It's so easy to become weak and lazy in those desk jobs. And it's up to you to recognize that you have influence over your environment. Okay, not only do you have influence over your flesh, right? This vehicle that I'm in. As much as I hate this vehicle and I don't like the way I look or whatever, it's the vehicle that I was given, I was born into, so I'm going to change it if I feel like I can. The same is true for your environment. Manipulate your environment, make your environment better. It's like you play RPGs probably. If you don't, it's all about upgrading in those games. Life is very similar. If you're living in a healthy economy and you have some freedom, go change the world, change your world, make your life better. Practicing strength and becoming more mentally and emotionally powerful, you'll train your mind to be able to choose the emotional path that may be more difficult but more healthy. So for example, one of the mental paths that I used to always go down is, I can't do that. I can't be a game developer. I'm not good enough. I think of it like have you ever seen those images of neurons firing in a brain? It's like going down that path. The easiest, smoothest, slickest, most damaging path of being self-defeating or insecure or worrying. That's where my brain was going all the time. And I said, to hell with that, I'm gonna go the opposite direction. And you start fighting and you rage against these unhealthy but easy thoughts. So practice power over your mind and practice power over your body. Believe it or not, you can do it. So that is how I defeated anxiety. It was purely 100% weightlifting. It's just crazy. It's a crazy thing I think that gets overlooked. Can you imagine if you went to a doctor and you said, hey, I'm really struggling with anxiety, and he goes, okay, I'm gonna prescribe you 5 doses of weightlifting every week for a year. Can you imagine what would happen? Imagine this. Visualize. After this video, if this video means something to you at all, go sit in a quiet closet. I know that sounds weird. Go sit in a closet, close the door, and just think for 10 minutes. What would my life look like if I decided to weightlift?
The Iceman cometh.
I'm talking about like pushing yourself. I'm not talking about running 5 minutes. I'm talking about really pushing yourself. Really, when you push yourself against weight, it's almost like you're fighting those mental urges to make the easy path, the worrying, anxious path. When you push physically against weight, your mind is pushing physically. So I'm saying, what would your life look like if you really pushed yourself physically? Who would you become? I'm a man, so I'm thinking from that perspective. A man is someone who leads, and if he does have fear, he fights it as hard as he can. I want to lead my family, and so I said, I'm to hell with anxiety. I'm going to lead my family. I've got a daughter, a wife. I've got a mortgage. I've got a company to run. And to me, the easiest step towards, and it sounds really shallow and like fake to say, to become a man, you need to work out. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's the most obvious step. If there's any step you don't know to take, take that step, because so much stuff follows, I promise you. So give it a shot. And this is from one game developer to maybe you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're a creative person, or maybe that's something you want to do. If you want to pursue entrepreneurship or creativity, some sort of career with creativity, start working out, because you're going to need it. It's a tool. It's a tool to get through situations where you won't be able to handle it emotionally. So thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me rant. I apologize for the video quality. But anyway, please subscribe to this channel if you're interested in this weird dichotomy of maybe fitness and game development. I mean, that is, to me, that's such a weird thing to talk about, but I'm like into both those things. So let me know if you like this kind of discussion. Excuse me. And if you like the transparency of these videos, I can go back to doing really clean cut videos, step by step, but this is just a different kind of video that I want to try. I think that's my 1000th comment below. I will answer some questions. Please subscribe, you guys, and share and blah, blah, blah. If you really like this stuff, support. And you can support on Patreon. There's a link in the description. That means a lot to me too. Bye. Oops, don't want to show you that.